The Dutch secret to productivity. Now, apparently this video is about the Dutch art of doing nothing. That's the entire description that was given to me to watch this video. Really curious to see what we got going on. This one is coming from David Wen. He looks a little familiar. Maybe we've seen one of his videos before. I'm assuming he lives in the Netherlands. And yeah, let's figure out what the secret is. And hopefully I can grab some of it and put it into my life so I don't have to do anything while still being productive. All right, smash the like button. Let's dive in.
The Dutch have a word for the art of doing nothing, Niksen. In the US, we also have a word for that.
I just stare at my desk, but it looks like I'm working.
Okay, so he's not in the Netherlands. He's in the US. All right.
Bum, deadbeat, sloth.
Niksen has...
Hold on. Yeah, what are the
Looks
words
like I'm
again?
working.
Bum,
Good off, idler, laggard, layabout, lazy bones, loafer, lounger. This is hilarious. Yeah, somebody that does nothing is usually a bum. I guess. No, a bum is someone that's homeless.
bum,
I don't know. Let's keep going.
deadbeat, sloth.
Niksen has become my favorite Dutch word.
It has become a publishing sensation. There are fitness clubs with Niksen classes.
But then I realized it doesn't really make any sense. The Dutch are anything but doing nothing. They're all about efficiency. Their agendas are packed. How can they just do nothing yet still be so productive? Is there a secret we don't know? Or is it
Fake news.
I hate following trends. So I spent hours reading, listening to podcasts, and wandering hundreds of kilometers into the Dutch countryside to practice. So let me tell you what I've learned about Niksen, including what is Niksen and why did it become global? The pros and cons of Niksen. How does one Niksen? And does Niksen work around the world? For example, I don't think it could work in the US. Or could it? And hopefully by the end, you'll also agree with me that Niksen should be the word of the year.
Because busy isn't cool, so let me share with you a new life tool. Will you listen? Because it's time to Niksen.
I'm trying now.
All right.
Here's the big problem. People are stressed and burning out. And it's not only the Dutch, the world's stressed out. And it got worse during COVID. So then many of these wellness trends.
I feel like it got, I don't know. I don't want to say better during COVID because it did suck. I mean, I was pretty stressed out. I had a photo booth business and I lost the entire thing because everyone canceled their events. Now I can laugh about it now, but I feel like, especially what's going on with the world now, I feel like it's more stressful. World events and like cost of living is a little bit more stressful now than it was back then.
Started popping up. From the Danish hookah to $20 sexy water.
Sexy water.
So it's no surprise that when Niksen came onto the scene, I was skeptical. You're telling me the secret to Dutch productivity is to be a couch potato?
I have potato blood in my veins. My life is potato.
The word Niksen comes from the Dutch word niks, meaning nothing. Niksen is about letting the mind wander. Now I'm
wondering, there's a watch brand called Niksen that's pretty popular here in the States. They make okay watches. They're not that expensive. I'm wondering if they took, do nothing. I guess you would watch the time go by. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. My dog's name used to be Niksen as well.
Were only that easy. There was a famous study where participants were left in a room for 15 minutes. They had the option of sitting and doing nothing or getting shocked. 67% of men and 25% of women chose to get shocked rather than sit alone and do
Can't
nothing.
resist.
And I get it, it's hard. I recently had a lot of time to do nothing, but ironically, it felt busier than ever because I couldn't get over the fact that I had nothing productive in my schedule.
It's because we're a society obsessed with busyness, productivity, optimization, but we're exhausted. And that's where Niksen comes in. But doing nothing isn't only Dutch. Many other cultures.
And when we're talking about doing nothing, are we saying doing absolutely nothing, like no electronics, no entertainment, like that kind of doing nothing? Because in that case, I might be able to last like 45 minutes doing nothing. I'd get a little bored then.
Also practice doing nothing. In Chinese Taoist philosophy, there's a concept called wu wei, or non-doing. Wu wei focuses on going with the flow of life. Author Ted Slingerland describes wu wei as the answer to happiness. Because in today's society, we're taught to pursue happiness. But the pursuit of happiness could actually lead us to become more unhappy if we don't get what we pursue. The same can be said about productivity. The more that we strive to be productive, it may be that the less productive that we become. And that's the paradox of Wu Wei and Niksen. And closely related is the Japanese term Zen, which means meditation. Zen is about mindfulness and noticing the reality around you. But Niksen is about mind wandering without a purpose. Both Niksen and Zen focus on non-action and taking breaks. In Italy, they know how to enjoy life. There's a concept called dolce far niente, the sweetness of doing nothing. It's about appreciating the simplicities in life, embracing leisure time, and enjoying the present moment. So many cultures around the world, they also do nothing. And maybe that's also why the Dutch are some of the happiest people in the world, known for their work-life balance. They're productive and they know how to take time off. And besides Niksen being great for our well-being, there are other benefits of Niksen as well. It can make us more creative and make better decisions. According to science, when we do nothing and allow our brains to wander, it activates a certain part of the brain that's associated with creativity.
I was just gonna say, I was like, yeah, usually I'm the most creative when I'm not focusing on something. Doing absolutely nothing. Yeah, that's the best thoughts come there, right?
Imagination, retrospection. And when we do nothing, it gives the brain space to connect many different unrelated ideas. In other words, Niksen is a powerful tool to boost creativity and innovation. Daniel Kahneman won a Nobel Prize for his work on how we think. We have two systems of thinking, System 1 and System 2. System 1 is fast, automatic, intuitive. System 2 is slow, deliberate, analytical. And Niksen affects both. It enhances our System 1 intuition. At the same time, it supports System 2 by allowing us to think more clearly through mental rest. Niksen helps us make better decisions. But could Niksen work in a place like the US? For one, Americans could do more Niksen. But in many cultures...
What did it say? We're the most stressed out people in the world.
For one...
Americans are among the most stressed people in the world, poll finds. That's from the New York Times, though.
Americans could do more Niksen, but in many cultures like the US, there simply isn't a philosophy of just doing nothing.
According to a recent survey, Americans value hard work over just about everything else.
In fact, doing nothing may actually be looked down upon.
But she argues social pressures make doing nothing hard to do. After all, we might be accused of the dreaded sin of laziness.
Niksen works in a place like the Netherlands because of cultural and social factors. The Dutch value work-life balance, and it's normal for people to take time off. They also have one of the most flexible working cultures, with many people working part-time. And there isn't this above and beyond culture like there is in the US. I personally think it'd be quite difficult to adopt the Niksen mindset in the US. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try. Because how you Niksen can actually be quite simple. Niksen isn't about being a couch potato. It's to purposely do nothing, even if it's for 5-10 minutes. It's to take breaks. And this is what works for me.
Yeah, I like taking breaks. I guess I wouldn't be doing nothing technically, but I like doing breathing exercises, like the Wim Hof breathing. That's one of my favorite things to do, is break away. Usually it's once like I'll go to the gym, get back, do a little bit of work, and then I go off for about 20 minutes and just lay down and breathe. And it's the most relaxing thing in the entire world.
Dutch, and plan Niksen into your schedule. The Dutch, they live by their agendas. Go to nature. Did you know that we spend 90% of our time indoors? My favorite way to Niksen is to get outside, go for a walk, and disconnect from technology, so we can slow down and reconnect with ourselves. Bill Gates is famous for his Think Week, where he disconnects for 1 week in nature in a year. That's where some of his most creative ideas have come from. Daydreaming. I used to get in trouble for daydreaming, but there's actually power in just letting your mind wander. It helps us better focus, become more creative, and make better decisions. And you can do it anywhere, anytime. Take a break. When we work, it's actually more productive when we take breaks. Whether it's 5 minutes or a 3-week vacation. I know not everyone can just take a 3-week vacation, but the point is, take a break. And finally, just be okay with free time. Nothing needs to be filled. So if you're by yourself and trying to kill time, don't feel...
I think Niksen is like one of the biggest culture shocks that Americans don't understand about Europeans. Like, they don't get it. How many videos have we seen? If it's your first time here, maybe you haven't seen it before. But I've done plenty of reaction videos to Americans in Europe. And a lot of the time I get that where they say everyone's just kind of like sitting around. They're in a restaurant for way too long. They're at the table. They'll just sit there and drink their coffee for 2 hours straight. And it's like, yeah, they're doing, would you say they're Niksening? Doing Niksen?
the need to open and scroll through Instagram.
I know we're talking about Dutch.
Doing
I
nothing
said Europeans,
is better than being busy doing nothing.
So this is my dream. I hope we all get a national, no, World Niksen Day off. I hope companies and leaders promote time off to Niksen.
Yeah, good luck with that, man, here in the US.
To boost productivity and innovation. When we do nothing, that may actually be the way to get something done. And I hope we can all have potato blood in our veins too.
I have potato blood in my veins.
Michael, I did nothing. I did absolutely nothing, and it was everything that I thought it could be.
I'm guessing that's like when someone asks you, what'd you do this weekend? That's always the best. What'd you do? And I'm like, nothing. They're like, oh, that sucks. I'm like, no, it was amazing. I did absolutely nothing. I hope your dreams come true, but also I hope you can rest, take a break, and just do nothing. All right, that was a wholesome video. That was really good. Really, really good. And not quite what I was expecting. I guess I don't know what I was expecting, but all right, guys, I'll have a link to David Wen's video in the description below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.